Single moms need husbands, but undesirable men stay lonely. This is a discrepancy that is common, very common, and it's gynocentrism, frankly. All right, you'll hear feminists talk a good one, talk up and down about how women are equal to men, blah blah blah. Women deserve equal opportunities, woo woo woo. But when it comes down to the when it comes down to basic necessity, when it comes down to basics, right? Women are always cared for, right? Society will always go out of their way for women, and nobody knows this better than women. They know the court system is going to simp for them. They know their friends and family are going to support them no matter what. Okay? They know men are going to fawn all over them. They know men are going to support them. They've always got that in their back pocket. This is why women really don't feel very much remorse, or I shouldn't even use the word remorse. They don't feel pressured to do anything quality or do anything good in their 20s because they know they got 10 years to go mess around, because they can always fall back on a guy. They can always fall back on something, right? Well, men, if we don't perform, we're on the street in most cases. If we don't bring in resources, if we don't do our manly job, quote unquote, which is to produce something, then we are ostracized by society. No one's going to take care of us, unless you got a really rich family or you just happen to have some luck in some certain ways. But no one's going to go out of their way to help us, really. It's just not the way men are designed. It's not the way society thinks about men. So I was having a conversation with my friend about single moms. He goes to church, or he used to go to church, and he got disenfranchised with the particular churches that he went to because they were gynocentric. They were very feminist churches, and he shared some examples of that. And one of the examples that he shared was a pastor had single moms stand up. He said, are there any single moms in the crowd tonight? Please stand up. And I don't know, a dozen women, maybe 12 to 20 women stood up. You can't really see a whole lot from the camera, but there's a good amount. I mean, this is probably a congregation of 100 people or something, medium sized, right? For a church, right? 20 people, 20 women stood up, and he said, okay, is there any single men out there? Maybe 30 men stood up. And he said, okay, you single men, these women here, they need husbands. And my friend was like, what is that about, right? Now, I told him, I said, idealistically, if I'm being egalitarian, if I'm not being, mean or bitter or strict, if I'm being really Christ-like and egalitarian, right? I would say, yeah, these women need husbands. They got these kids. They need help, from a quote unquote misogynistic viewpoint. Because if feminism was really about equality, a feminist would get mad at that. She would say, why does a woman need help? She can't raise her kid by herself. Because it's like, you would think that, equality, right? But from a male standpoint, particularly in church, right? A man's going to say, oh, these women need help because they're just women. They're struggling. Or you could look at it from the viewpoint of, well, women need, men and women need a husband and kids need fathers. But if we're looking at it from the red pill perspective, that's not your kid. That's not your seed. That's not your responsibility. And you really are not supposed to love that child because that's not your kid. Which is why the concept of being a stepdad is just so demeaning. I've said a million times before that it's one of the most emasculating things, or demasculating, not sure what the word is there, but it's not masculine at all to raise another man's kid. In fact, it's kind of simpish and you're kind of being cucked. But with that said, we have an epidemic of single moms in our society, right? Why is that? Because we live in a porn culture. We live in Tinder culture. We live in hookup culture. Everybody can go have sex in a matter of a second. Just click on somebody you like and go have sex. So there's single moms everywhere. So idealistically, egalitarian, I would say, I shouldn't even use the word idealistically. I should say in an egalitarian way, in a loving way, in a forgiving way, in a Christ-like way, I would say, yeah, these women need husbands. But if we're looking at it from a male viewpoint, from a red pill viewpoint, why are these women single moms in the first place? Why are there so many single moms? These women are friend zoning good guys and they're chasing bad guys to have sex. These women are being lustful, they're being promiscuous, right? This is a core problem, and particularly a core tenet of what we talk about in the red pill community. Why are these women going out and sleeping around? Who is raising these women to think that that's okay? Why is there no quality parenting to raise daughters to grow up to be not messed up, not sluts and promiscuous, fuck things for guys? Why is that? Why are so many women today just going out and being promiscuous? It's like a normal culture. It's like a normal thing. There's a normalization culture to normalize it. People are so warped today, and this is why our society's so messed up. There's a mass shooting once every 2 months. I think there were 7 in the last week here. Why is our society so fucked up? Because we don't have traditional values anymore. We don't have morals anymore. We don't have wholesome values any longer. And my friend is saying, well, the church is fostering this bullshit because, egalitarianistically and in Christ-like way, yeah, these women need husbands and the children need fathers. It's better to have a stepdad than not. But the studies are out there. You should have a biological parents who are loving each other and raise you. That's the best case scenario. If you are raised in a co-parenting separation type situation, kids grow up messed up, man. It's just a fact. It is just a fact. Single moms are absolutely detrimental. I read something the other day about the statistics of how bad they are. Like 80 to 90% of inmates in prison come from single parent households. Depression, dysfunction, homelessness, unemployment, all come from single parent households. And even if they have a stepdad, it's better, definitely better for the kids to have a stepdad. But it's not ideal. It's not the best case scenario. The best case scenario is you find someone to love. And I reminded me, I was talking with my friend, it's just like, why can't these women find love at a young age? Instead, they got to go out and get pregnant. It's like, why? But if you go listen to what feminism says, if you go listen to what society's doing, go listen to the rap music, go listen to the pop culture, go listen to the movies, it's no wonder people are being influenced. People are being brainwashed. People are being socially conditioned to behave this way, to think that it's cool to be ratchet, to think that it's cool to be a thug, to think that it's cool to do drugs and have sex and pimp. I come from that culture. I grew up in the 90s. I grew up in the 2000s when all that rap music was coming out, all that negative crap, not just the rap music, rock and roll, pop culture. It's all porn culture, the internet. People don't think this stuff is damaging, but it is. It's highly influencing. And women have unlimited access. Men don't. Men have to work with what we got. If we're not that good looking, if we're not that popular, if we don't have that much money, it's not going to go great for us. And in a way, that's kind of a blessing in a way, because there's so many dangers that come from being promiscuous. But even I was talking with my friend, and we both kind of agreed that we did want love at a young age. We did want, to find a wife, to find love. And I believe a lot of guys do. I believe a lot of guys are blue-pilled in that way. But women don't want that because of hypergamy, because of female nature. And you combine hypergamy, female nature, with porn culture, and what do you get? You get a highly promiscuous woman who's only sleeping with the top 10% of guys, yet she's constantly sleeping around. She has unlimited access. And you think these top 10% guys are really complaining These Chads, these 10 out of 10 guys who are just buff and on steroids and chiseled jaw, great looking dude, right? And I'm not saying I'm jealous of these guys. If I was in their position, I'd do the same thing probably. These guys aren't complaining. They're getting ass and titties everywhere, every day. It's a freaking utopia for these guys. But where's the burden? Is the burden on these guys who are just, they just won the game genetically? Right? Yeah, they take responsibility, or they should take responsibility, I should say. They hold account, or they hold, it's their fault to a certain extent. Is it 100% their fault, or is most of the fault with the woman who is friend zoning the good guy and chasing the bad boys and not even caring about if she gets pregnant or not even caring about STDs, not even wearing condoms, not being safe? And even if they are, so what? They're still out sleeping around. They're not finding love. The more you sleep around, the less able you are to pair bond. Meaning it's going to be very difficult for you to settle down and really enjoy your partnership, really have a loving marriage or a loving relationship later on, which is why marriage is at 60%, because when women are not fulfilled, they're like, why am I not fulfilled in this marriage? I thought when I found love, I'd be fulfilled. Well, probably because you slept with 200 guys before you met this guy, before you met your husband. Probably because you gave away your emotions and you have soul ties. You should study what that term means, soul ties. When you're attached to somebody physically in your soul because and emotionally and mentally because you had sex with them a bunch of times and you developed a bond from sex. And then we wonder why divorce is at 60%. It's like, oh. I read somewhere that the average number of guys that a woman first entering pornography, because a lot of women do porn. A lot of attractive women do porn for the money and for various other reasons. They like sex. And a lot of people say, oh, well, they're just being sex trafficked. Bullshit. These women love what they're doing. They love sex. They love porn. They love coming. And they're getting paid for it. Okay. So it ain't just these sex trafficked victims who are drugged out and they're doing it because they're desperate. Bullshit. That's a false narrative. It's your normal girls. It's the girls that come from Christian backgrounds. It's the girls that have two parent households even a lot of times. Because it's a culture, porn culture. Oh, I can go have sex and get paid for it. Great. I read that the average number of guys that they've slept with, different guys that they've slept with before entering the porn industry. They have statistics like this. They ask them questions, whatever. The average number of guys that a woman who does porn, I don't know if you can say porn star, but we'll just say porn star. When she first enters the industry, the average number of guys she slept with is 75. 75. Not after she went in the industry. Not, oh, I slept with 75 guys in the industry. They can have a sex scene sometimes 30 days a month. I've studied this shit, man. It's a lot more than you would ever realize. There is a lot more porn than you would ever realize. I think I was talking to somebody about this recently, and he asked me, how many women do you think have done porn of all time? And I thought my number was between 500K to 1 million of all time, meaning every scene ever record. Record. I'm not talking about duplicate scenes. I mean, one woman who's done porn at least once, or from 1 to 100 scenes or 1 to 1,000 scenes, however many scenes these women do. That one woman, how many times, or how many women in history have done porn? And my estimate was between 500,000 and 1 million. I did some studies on it, and it might even be more than that. It might even be more than that. Now, if you look at like history from like the 1970s, which is when porn became legal, to 2021, where we're at now, you would say, well, that's not that many women. I mean, there's 7 billion people on the planet today. Like if you compare 500,000 to 1 million women to what is it, 3.5 billion women on the planet today? It's not a very comparable number. If you think about it, on the one hand, that's kind of true, but maybe there's more. But even still, 1 million women, that's a lot, man. 500,000 to 1 million women, that's a lot. And people act like, oh, that's not that much. It's not that bad. Woo, woo, woo. Yet it controls a huge portion of the internet traffic. Not only that, it controls people's lives. Not only that, it influences society. Now, can I sit here and say I'm better than that? That's not the standpoint that I'm coming from. I'm not acting like I'm better than anything. I've watched my fair share of porn. I've had my fair share of sex. I don't know if I'd say fair share, but I've had a lot of sex in my life. Probably not as much as I wanted, obviously. You know, most men want more than they get. So I'm not sitting here acting like I'm better. I'm just saying it's a problem. I'm saying at least I'm acknowledging that it's a freaking problem. You know? And what are the results? And this is what I talk about all the time. What are the results? STDs, kids out of wedlock, broken hearts. You know? And I was talking with my friend. We both agreed that we wanted love when we were younger, when we were more blue-pilled. Really, what caused me to want sex was the fact that I realized what female nature really was. And I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna screw these girls. They're not even worth dating, because I realized it was all about my money. You know, it's looks, money, status, man. The black pill guys are right. Looks, money, status. You know, and the women today are more narcissistic and lofty in their thinking than ever in history. You got to be a 10 out of 10 giga chad, 10 out of 10 ubermensch to even, uber chad to even freaking get your foot in the door. And even then, you got to have game. Just because you're good looking doesn't mean she's going to drop her pants for you. You got to develop game. I mean, the standard and the bar is higher than ever. Now, I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about even getting in a relationship. I mean, it's insane. You got a 4 out of 10 thinking she's a 10, a 49er, right? Thinking she deserves a rich millionaire actor or some shit. That's how warped these women are. And the reason why is because of the internet. Is because of the simps, because of the guys sliding into her DMs every day constantly, because of all the attention she gets on the dating sites. And it's not positive attention. These guys just want to fuck. And she thinks, oh, well, these guys all want to fuck me. I must be a princess. I must be made out of gold. Right? This is her attitude. So how do you think she's going to treat you? Do you think it's going to be about you in the relationship? Do you think it's going to be about love in the relationship? No, it's going to be all about her, because she knows she's got an army of simps. She's got an army of dudes, at least 30 to 40 a week, probably. How many times she gets messaged on Plenty of Fish or OkCupid or Tinder, whatever, 30 to 40 times a week. And you think she's considering you with your bullshit, bathroom mirror selfies? You think she gives a flying fuck about you, who's like not even a 10 out of 10? Come on, man. This is why dating sites don't work anymore, because you have to be a 10 out of 10, 100% successful Chad, or else you're not even going to get your foot in the door. She's not even going to reply to you. You bring nothing to the table with your little bathroom mirror selfies and your little good intentions. Oh, baby, I just want to love you. She didn't give a fuck. That's like somebody offering you, here, I'll pay you $5 an hour. And somebody else is like, I'll pay you $1 million an hour. Which one do you think you're going to choose? I mean, it's just common sense, man. But my friend and I both agreed that, well, there's a problem with single moms out there. This is the problem, though, is when they go for the 10 out of 10 guy, guess what? All the other women are going for the 10 out of 10 guy, too. And he doesn't have to settle down. He can just get the milk for free. He doesn't have to buy the cow. That's the type of world we're living in, man. It's common sense. Cause and effect. Yeah, we used to be blue pill before we got red pill. We used to want love. We used to want one woman to love, and we were going to treat her right. And we were going to love her, and oh man, I just want that one girl. I just want love. I remember my blue pill days, man. And they didn't want me. In fact, it turned them off. They didn't want me because I wanted them. I think I attracted some broken ones because they had already been out and pumped and dumped. They had already got their hearts broken. So they liked me because I was kind because I really wanted them, right? And they gave me a little bit of play. They gave me a little bit of time. I had sex a few times. This is one of my real blue pill days before I was even 19, you know. But also it turned them off because it's not their nature. It turned them off. Oh, I really wanted to love them. The more I paid attention to them, the more I wanted to love them, the less attracted they were to me. It's just female nature. You can't win, man. You just can't win. And then what happens? So they go chase the guys who don't need them. They go chase the guys who all the other women want, and then they act and they make all these memes that like justify that. You know, I read this meme the other day, and she was like, "If no other woman wants you, why should I want you?" And it's like, what the fuck? Like, that's good if no other woman wants you. That means you're available. That means you're not going to cheat on her, right? And she's like, why would I want? It's just like, and then they get mad when the guy cheats, and they're like, you should have been loyal, and they act all hurt, and it's like, you brought it on yourself, man. And then you get pregnant, you become single moms, and now all of a sudden we got to simp for you. Now all of a sudden we got to raise some other man's seed. You can't win, man. You can't win. But anyway, what's the answer? I always say it's discipline, it's accountability. I always say it takes a village to raise. It takes a village to raise somebody. It's our society that we live in. What could we do? We just speak the red pill truth, I guess. And is it going to change people? I don't know, man. It just seems like we're in a downward trend. It seems like this is all the process of the end of humanity, really. Because when you tear down the family unit, when you tear down the love structure, a love bond, and when you tear down traditional values, again, family values, when you take God out of the equation, which means you're removing objective morality, and then these people say, oh, morality is subjective. That's a horrible slippery slope. Morality is subjective, huh? Where do you draw the line? So it's essentially saying I make my own morality, really. So you're basically saying you're an anarchist. So there's no laws. You're not living by any laws, and then you wonder why there's a mass shooting every 7 days. It's not because of gun control. Look at England. People are getting stabbed every day. It's not because of the tools of destruction. It's because of the heart, right? The pen is mightier than the sword. What does that mean? It means all our intentions come from the heart. The Bible says all the sin comes from an evil heart. Sin, all the negative machinations that happens in society doesn't come from anything outward. It comes from the human heart. But what happens with you? You get thrown under the bus. You see, when a woman becomes a single mom, she's good. It's all good with her, right? Because she knows she can have a man to fall back on. But what about you? What if you don't perform? First of all, if you're not a 10 out of 10 Chad, then you just get you get the drags. You get what you can get, right? And usually it's a single mom because women don't want to settle down until they hit the wall, or unless you're just Prince Harry, then they might want to settle down. But even then, look at Meghan Markle. She was fucking 36, right? I mean, she looks good for 39. She's taking care of herself for sure. She looks great physically. But do all women at 36 look great? Do all women at 39 look great? No. Also, she was married before, right? So yeah, once she hits 30, that seems to be the trend. Once she hits 30, her body counts in the 200s. Her vagina looks like a hollowed out turkey, right? Then she's ready to settle down. And guess what? You need to foot the bill. You need to pay for it. You need to man up, right? Look at all the dating sites. I need a real man, right? I'm ready for a real man. Don't play games. I'm not. I don't want no games. I'm not just here for a hookup. Yeah, because you've been doing that for the last 10 years. You're sick of it, right? Now you need something real. You're tired of being ran through by random dick. Maybe it gets old after a while and you got no emotions. You got no feeling. You got no attraction to the guy. You got no chemistry. All you're getting is dick, and then he's leaving you. What kind of life is that? And what happens? You get pregnant. Oh, now you really need a man, because now you're stressed out as fuck because kids are a 24/7 burden. And you got to take care of them. I mean, it's just, you can't win, man. And if we don't perform, if we don't have money, we're nothing. We get nothing in life. We're not important. We get nothing if we can't perform. If we don't make money, man ain't nothing. But if a single mom doesn't make money, if she's got a kid in tow, if she's got STDs, it's all good. It's all good as long as she finds the simp, as long as she finds the guy who's ready for that used pussy. And particularly if the man is undesirable, if he's less attractive, if he's not a 10 out of 10, if he's not even like a 7 out of 10, say he's a 4 or a 5, good luck, man. There's so many single men out there. Decent hearted guys, man. Decent hearted guys. And women hate it. They hate those guys. They don't even want them to exist. They're like, undesirable guys. Just get out of my dating pool. Get out of the gene pool. Can't tell you how many people over the years I've heard say to me and to other people, "Oh, you shouldn't breed. Don't breed," as if like breeding is like the great thing in life. Like, I'm validated. I've self-actualized. I've fulfilled my purpose because I've had a kid. I've breeded. Therefore, my seed. It's like, what an animalistic, Darwinistic way to look at life. Like, yeah, we're a little bit more than that as human beings. We're a little bit better than that. I think we have higher values than just procreating, just breeding. Oh, I have kids, therefore I deserve some kind of respect. I'm an alpha because I had kids. Like, you know how easy it is to get a chick knocked up? Just go to a bar and fucking pull some bitch. It's not hard. It's not hard, man. I can't tell you how many loser dudes, bad looking dudes just got some bitch knocked up, that's nothing. How about having a quality family? How often does that happen? How about having a quality traditional family where you meet a guy and your body count isn't 200. Maybe your body count is under 3. How about that? That would be freaking amazing. How often does that happen? That's quickly becoming a thing of the past. And some would argue it was never a thing. Some would argue that women were always sleeping around. Whatever, right? But anyway, it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good for us guys. Not looking good for society. But this is how we became red pilled. These are facts. This is what we can't deny, Anyway, appreciate you guys listening. It's been Jay Lee with Northwest Podcasts. Peace.